So with our handsome Mr. B, ready? Bodie. So I like to warm up typically with some gorgeous name recognition with some Find Its. So all the beauties are doing such a great job, definitely getting much more into the groove. And now we got some good beeping in the building, so good distractions. So Bodie, yes, nice job. So obviously sometimes with puppies, there might be some funny noises that are available. Pairing those weird noises with reinforcement can be really helpful. If your puppy almost doesn't seem to care, awesome, but keep playing. Sometimes there are Spotify, for example, or you go on YouTube, you can have just sounds. Make sure that they're nothing that equals anxiety or instant sort of responses. In the sense of novelty equals I'm spooked. So sometimes the benefit of doing a playlist that could be just novel sounds, could be like a water bubbler, could be, for example, kids on a playground, could be trucks making beeping noises. So ready, Bodie? The benefit to some of those moments is now your puppy gets more fluid and cozy with the weirdness that is the human world. And the novelty doesn't happen just all of a sudden here and there. It's kind of something they're practiced with. So if, let's say, the only time your puppy ever heard was a trash truck later down the road, the nice thing about this age group is remember that what you're exposing your puppy within their comfort range right now is helping create a foundation for your puppy for later. So a lot of folks don't always realize, but puppy's crucial window for socialization and early life experiences closes as young as 12 to 16 weeks of age. So this doesn't mean your puppy can't learn more things after that point. But what ends up happening for a lot of puppies is that people will sometimes wait until the puppy is completely fully vaccinated. The problem with that is now you've run into the risk of potential behavioral problems down the road. So for example, your puppy's really more important window for getting out and about, this doesn't mean that you want to bring them to very high traffic zones that have had a lot of dogs that you don't know anything about, because then we're more than likely going to potentially get exposed to something yucky. So even though your puppy may have already had his first round of his boosters and, for example, has had a clean fecal, that's again what all the beauties need to have to come in if they're under 6 months. So for Mr. B, there have been, for example, studies done where now there is the more potential for behavioral problems down the road if we don't have early socialization and experiences. Mr. P says, very sad day. He needs some more snacks again. Hold on, Mr. Wildman. Here, we'll do some Find Its for the handsome guy. So for our beautiful Mr. B, obviously I know he's in a puppy kindergarten class, which is awesome. He's also in the doggy day school, which is great for experiences. But just remember, when you guys are practicing out in the world, if, for example, he's not fully vaccinated yet, be cautionary as to where you might go to practice. So staying away from like dog parks or, for example, zones that have a lot of dog traffic for going to the restroom, that's where sometimes you can get some yucky stuff. So obviously coming to an environment like this where the babes are vetted and made sure that they're healthy before they come in. And then we also clean the center twice a week, and then we spot clean as well. It is very nice and tidy in the sense of not being able to hopefully transmit anything. And I've had 0 issues. So ready? Bodie. Nice. So right here mid-play, I was able to get him to check back in, which is gorgeous. Also, remember, puppies are not blank slates. So if, for example, we got a dog based off of their breed, remember that for a lot of those breeds, they were designed to do certain tasks or certain jobs. This doesn't mean that he has to go be a duck dog and retrieve everything under the sun. But remember that his natural instinct is to put everything into his mouth, even if it's good or bad, and maybe things you don't want him to play with. So make sure that we're not scolding for normal dog responses, but redirect and help him choose what the appropriate items might be. So if, let's say, he's playing with a toy, and I know we did the toy exchange game earlier with one of our other little guys, we may want to have him practice sometimes. If I can find my darn other toy, where's my other squishy friend? Well, maybe grab this one. So ready? We'll try that guy. So the benefit of doing a lot of really nice, easy experiences for your puppy is that you're not trying to think of what do I not want them to do and scold them for it. Because remember, that's going to create a situation where at times we are either safe or unsafe. And it's not going to teach your puppy what not to do. It's going to tell them that at times you are unpredictable and threatening and at times scary. So we don't want to create more conflict in our relation. We want to help them. If we don't like what they're doing, what would we prefer? Or what could I have my puppy do instead? Or also manage the environment, like I mentioned a little earlier for Mr. P, is if your puppy's getting into trouble grabbing constantly your slippers, we may have to put the slippers out of range for a little bit until our puppies have a better know-how of how to handle the weirdness that is the human world. So right here, as Mr. B is playing, I might go ahead and let's say I get his attention. I might go, ready, Bodie, and then go right into a little find it. So for letting go, he gets a little bonus bit of some chicken, and then you can play again. So because remember, for a lot of puppies, they are very bitey, and it's not because they're trying to be jerks or be really naughty. Remember that, and again, I'm just going to toss a few snacks for Mr. P. He's doing a good job, but he's a little tired, so he's a little bit sad without me. So I'll do a few little find its for Mr. P over there, get him distracted. So for Mr. B over here with Bodie, we want to make sure that if he is especially bitey, that normally means we're missing out on something he might need. So what I mean by that is he either doesn't have appropriate items to work on that you'd prefer, or his teeth are kind of, again, they're baby teeth, so eventually they're going to start to get loose and be uncomfortable and they want to fall out. So when your puppy starts to go through some of that teething phase, you may find that they become a little bit more unruly. But remember that if your puppy tends to be a very much so land shark, they need more rest. So puppies, again, need between, let's say, for example, 18 to 20 hours of sleep in a 24-hour period, which means that your puppy might spend a lot of their time resting. So this is really important too, because if you have multiple dogs or you have distractions in the home, your puppy may not be resting as often as you think because they get distracted and are woken up. So I would make sure, oh my gosh, what a roly-poly, he rolled all the way over, is make sure that when you're working on skills with Mr. Handsome, that he does also get a lot of great rest. So right here, we might do another little find it, get him to leave the raccoon to do a little disengagement. So, but we're gonna work a little bit with some other little skills too. So let's say, for example, we're gonna rock a little bit with some of those puppy push-ups. So I like to, in the beginning, lure the puppy, sit, and then yes to feed. So let's say, again, we're gonna take the food, have it in our hand, bring it up and above the puppy's head, yes. So I like to almost assume my puppy does not speak English, let alone French or Spanish or anything else. Oh, we got our choo-choo train. So right here, we're gonna go, yes, and we'll feed a few little snacks for the funny train going by. So this way, the train could actually be the bringer. Oh, is my rag really delicious? So the train could be the bringer of added chicken bits on the floor. Mr. P says, what about me in the choo-choo train? So let's say, again, we're working a little bit with maybe some downs. I like to go ahead and sometimes try with the puppy standing right there, yes. And you kind of push the food into his chest between his little front legs. And maybe we'll bring him a little bit closer so we can see him a little bit better. Just do it a little find it so we can get up. So right here, we might go, Bodie, come, and work a lovely little name recognition with those recalls. So right here, if you're looking for one of those downs, I sometimes like to put the food so we can see him a little bit better right here, right between his little front legs, and hold it until he lowers into the down position. You'll see that right now, yes, we are using the food stand to get these behaviors out of him. As he becomes much more fluid, and let's say me getting low gets him a little excited, he wants to come jump on me, I would rock a few little find its or redirect him to, like, for example, a toy he might have nearby. So I would highly recommend when working with your beauty is to have food and toys nearby so you could help him practice going for the appropriate item versus his leash, versus your pants, versus your shoelaces. But if no matter what you do, your puppy still does the exact same skill, like jump up on you and start mouthing, it's more than likely a potty break, maybe appropriate chew item that he can work on, or, for example, a good nap. So right here, we're gonna see if we can do, again, a little sit. He's like, lady, I really like Mr. Raccoon. So right there, yes, and feed. What a good job. He's doing beautiful. So again, the benefit of some of these puppy push-ups is right now we are using the food to help create the behavior. Later, remember, we wanna fade out this lure as quickly as we can. So if, let's say, food is always presented first, we want our puppy to think food is then given for after the skill is done. So let's say my hand is gonna be empty. I'm gonna go into a little sit, and then yes to feed. So, and let's say again, hand empty, down, and then yes to feed. And if, let's say, your puppy is really struggling, go back to luring for a moment. Ready, stand, Yes, right there, and feed him for that. So if your puppy is unsure of what to do, lure them in the beginning, but then go from luring, ready, find it. Good job. He's like, oh my gosh, there he is. So, but go from luring into feeding for right after they do the behavior. Nice job, sir. So right here, we're doing some lovely play with our little raccoon. It's alive, it's wiggling. This could also start beginning to be the beginning stages of beginning stages of fetching. So let's say he's got his item. I'm going to go ahead and feed for this little let go. Then I'm going to go, ready, Bodie, you ready? Go get it. And then from here, I might go, Bodie, yes. And then as he brings it into my space, oh, Mr. P says, worst day ever, what about me? So I'm going to go ahead and feed for that little let go. Then again, ready, go get it. Nice. And then ready? Oh, what a good boy. And again, we're going to hold our little friend. I'm going to feed the floor if I can. Ready? Find it. Good job. And then ready? Bodie, go get it. Nice. Yeah, what a good job. So let's say again, he brings it. I want to feed him for letting go of Mr. Raccoon, even though he's right here with us. Mr. P says, why aren't I playing with Mr. Raccoon and with Mr. B? So right here, I'm feeding him a few snacks, getting it to be valuable to let go, and then I make the raccoon come alive again. And Mr. P says, don't forget I'm also here. Yes. So you could also do this game with, let's say, 2 toys. Ready? Go get it. Oh, he's like, oh my goodness, Mr. Raccoon's so exhausting. He's like, did Raccoon make that noise? Nice job, mister. So again, for coming back to me, we're going to feed for that lovely let go. So right here, I'm just going to let him enjoy Mr. Raccoon. So with these lovely fetching responses, remember to fetch is a great game. I'm just going to toss a few snacks for poor Mr. P. He's so lonely without his BFF. So if, for example, Mr. B is working on some of these fetching behaviors, make sure that there's traction for him to do so on. So I know a lot of folks have hardwood, tile, different surfaces that are kind of slick. That is a way that a lot of puppies actually get injured well before they even hit teenagehood, let alone adulthood. So, maybe we got to go up for a potty. So maybe we'll give him a quick little break and I'll be right back. But Bodie, ready? We'll do a little check-in so I can keep his interest on me for a moment. Ready? Find it. But be careful that where you practice, the traction is a good one for the puppies not to slip and slide. But we'll give them a little breather. We'll sneak out for a quick little pee, and then we'll come back for some more practice.